Jumbo gets his call. Are the Sharks going to get new neighbors? We'll deep dive into the Newish logos of the Blues and Bruins. And what's Mike Grier thinking right now on a special edition of Summer Shark Bites here on Teal Town, USA? Maybe, maybe not. And what do you
It like played a second time. I don't know, man. This we're gonna shit can this software. I swear to God.
Good evening, everyone. It is June 24th, 2025. Welcome to Summer Shark Bites here on Teal Town, USA. If you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. You can find us on the social media, you know, where all those are at now. But make sure you hit that subscribe button here on the YouTube channel. Find everything at tealtownusa.com. And if you want to support the pod, you can hit us up live right now on a super chat or hit us up at Venmo at Tealtown USA. Pleased to be joined by Mr. AJ Strong. Good evening, good sir. How's it going in your side of the bay?
Fantastic. Very warm. We enjoy the ice water.
Yes.
It's been warm over the last week, but hydrate everybody.
Yes. Does it make you want to say holy doodle?
Dude, I don't even understand that. Like, where did that come from? And I fully expect the Sharks to have that on shirts for the draft day party.
If they don't, we should. That's all I'm going to say.
How fast did they come up with "Fun Must Be Always" shit? So,
within a week they did.
Holy doodle stuff is coming. I'm telling you. And then just in time for it'll be available for the prospect scrimmage, and then on sale during the sidewalk sale. That's how fast this will happen.
Oh, man. Well, it's good to see you. A lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to say. I know there's a few topics you want to get into, but let's talk about what first came out, and let's actually take a look. Why is the video not here? Let's take a look at Steven, what the hell? You're supposed to come over here and work it. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see here. Why the hell is it not here? It was here earlier. Jumbo Joe Thornton getting the call to the hall. I mean, I don't want to say not a big surprise, but nice to see that another Shark is getting in.
Well, I'm waiting for the day that a drafted Shark gets in. You know, it was I can't remember who it was. I'm sure it was Pashelka, but he kind of posted something that said Joe Thornton joins, Eddie Belfour, and I'm like, Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, and Igor Larionov, Detroit Red Wings, and Jeremy Roenick, Chicago Blackhawks, and but like every time I heard a name,
Teemu Selanne,
honey, Colorado.
Colorado. If there was a spot that you less than, oh my god.
But that's when I read the names, I'm like, I don't associate San Jose with any of those players. However, like Jumbo, of course, you associate it. But again, when the time comes, I think Marleau will get in at some point. But he's Hall of Very Good. He's not Hall of Fame. It will take some time. Just ask Alexander Mogilny.
Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled for him.
Yeah,
that's been a long time coming. But here now, let me try to get it to go because it just appeared out of nowhere. How Jumbo got the call? I guess he was on a flight. Is that what we heard?
That's what I heard.
Well, Joe, it's about time you answered your damn phone. Hey, Joe, it's Lanny and Ronnie Francis here. I'm going to let Ron give you the so-so news. How's that?
Okay.
We're trying to figure out what you're doing in November. But I'll let.
If anything involves hanging with you, Lanny, I'm in, and Ronnie.
Well, here's Ron.
Hey, Joe, I just wanted to let you know that we're really excited to welcome you into the Hockey Hall of Fame. You were voted
Holy
today by
Ronnie, holy doodle.
It's always great to have
Holy
another
dude,
Super
oh
A-Hound
boy.
in there.
Oh my God, I'm shaking. Thanks, boys. Holy moly.
Well, I can't believe you didn't answer the phone the first time. And
Well,
thank
I'm
goodness
in Arizona
for.
right now. I'm flying back home today, so that's what I was probably doing.
Well, that's perfect. And thank goodness for Kelly. She said, we're going to try one more time.
Oh my, well, thanks for trying, fellas. Oh my goodness.
Well, we could not be happier for you or for the Hockey Hall of Fame to have you as our newest member.
Oh, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. What a tremendous honor. Oh,
Congratulations,
incredible.
Joe.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. This is incredible.
All right.
I like that he initially says "holy fuck" and then changes it to "holy doodle." And now there's going to be hockey people. They're going to be like, yeah, I'll hang out with you guys later. First, I got to doodle my girlfriend, and then we'll go.
Oh my God.
That's going to be a new synonym now. I love it.
Oh man.
That was pretty cool.
That's so cool to get.
And it's so jumbo to like, because I guarantee you, there are players that know that, a call is to be expected.
Yeah.
Maybe make yourself available that day. And Jumbo's like, nah, fuck it. I got to fly back. I'm playing with Austin Matthews. Now I got to go home to London. And,
Right.
I don't give a shit.
So you're right. So Jumbo joins Rob Lake, Ed Belfour, Igor Larionov, Sergei Makarov, Teemu Solani, Mike Vernon, and Doug Wilson into the hall,
Okay,
along with.
Run it again. Run those short, quick. Hold on. One at a time.
Okay. So Jumbo Joe Thornton joins Rob Lake,
Colorado.
L.A.,
No, but yeah. But L.A.,
Ed Belfour,
Chicago, Dallas,
yeah, Igor Larionov,
Detroit.
Sergei Makarov,
Also Detroit, right?
Calgary,
Yeah, I knew it was red.
Teemu Solani,
Anaheim,
Mike Vernon,
Detroit,
Doug Wilson.
Chicago.
And okay, well,
When Doug Wilson went in, that wasn't as a builder, right? That was as a player.
As a player.
Chicago.
Yeah, and then we'll throw in Dan Ruzanowski as well.
And Sharkey, I guess, if we want to get
Yeah, I
technical.
guess, if you want to go with Sharky. But I mean, I think like for that list, not their big heyday was not the Sharks. I think this one's kind of special because his significant achievements all happen with a Sharks uniform on.
For the most part.
Sure.
I will say that, the year that he got, what was it, the Ross and what was the other one?
06.
Yeah, it was the Ross. What the hell was the other trophy?
The Art Ross and the Hart Trophy. The MVP.
Ross and the Hart. So that year he was actually technically in both jerseys.
Technically in both jerseys, but I mean, I think he had like 101 points with the Sharks alone.
Yeah.
After he got traded, which is just ridiculous because December onward, he went off and.
And I think when the day he got traded, I think Chichu had 6 goals, and then wins the Richard gets 50. So
6 hat tricks indeed. Oh man. So I'm excited for him. Kind of, hinted at maybe I go to Toronto finally. That would be fun to see all the festivities. I mean, it's nothing like the Hockey Hall of Fame, but excuse me, not like the Pro Football Hall of Fame where it's just like a ridiculous large weekend. But
well, can we talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs social team for a second?
Oh no.
Tweeting out photos of Mogilny and Thornton, guys. I know you're desperate for a win, but that was so desperate. Like Dangle and the boys have to be just like, yee. But it's like, dude, you don't talk about Mogilny with the Leafs. You talk about him with the Sabres, maybe the Canucks. And it's like, it was just like Toronto trying to crash the party like the Kool-Aid man. Like, just get the fuck out.
I like how they did a big old thing for Zdeno Chara for the Bruins, but I'm also glad that they did give Jumbo his props on the Bruins.
Oh, did Boston do something?
Yeah, Boston put up a little graphic. And
I mean, but at least he was there for like what, 6-7 years or something.
Yeah.
So okay, I get that, but it was like Mogilny, like like the final 3 years of his career were in Toronto. Like, give me a break. Jumping on that.
I mean,
Jerry, thank you, good sir.
Oh, did I miss one? Yep, there we go. Jerry, thank you for your $5 super chat. Congratulations, Jumbo. Thanks for the continued great coverage. I haven't been able to watch live lately, but I been enjoying the replays. Nice. Appreciate you, bud.
And to take it a step further, Mike Grier had a media call today, and during that call mentioned that the club is continuing to try to make Jumbo make it official that he's a development coach. Evidently, he still shows up every day when he's around to, shower, I guess, and use the facilities and skate around and talk to the boys, whoever's still here. But it sounded like Grier wants to, like, we love him, he's great, and blah blah blah. There's a part of me that I just wonder, like, Jumbo's just kind of like, I kind of like coming and going as I please,
right?
But Grier made it sound like a contract has been offered. They're just waiting for Jumbo to sign it. But we're talking about a guy who took like a year and a half to tell everybody, hey, everybody, in case you didn't know, I'm done.
Right.
So, yeah, it takes him a while to make things official.
Right. Yes.
Director
Vibes trademark.
I gotta tell you, like, it's that's I don't know who coined that. I am so sick of the term vibes.
Really?
It is so overused. Like ESPN has like a new show coming out, like Vibe Check or something like that. It's just becoming like the most overused word in sports. So,
well, I mean, it's one of those terms that's like on fleek. Remember on fleek? Where
I remember it, never used it.
Right, but I mean, it's one of those
probably because it's not a real fucking word. But anyway, like, I'll sit here and be old man screaming at the cloud. Why you?
Well, speaking of Mike Grier, we'll jump into this now since you mentioned it. You were on the call.
Are we done with the Thornton stuff?
Well, I mean,
if anybody has anything to add,
yeah, we'll go into that and we'll make a comment. We'll save it for later in the program. But we'll go to Mike Grier right now. What did you think of the call? Because Jules was messaging me. He's like, "Oh, they're for sure taking Misa." No, now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What the heck's gonna happen? Like, what the hell are you talking about, Jules?
Well, it all depended on who was asking the question. Because it started off with the writer from AP.
Josh?
No, not him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not him. So, AP, the usual suspects, Max, Shang, Curtis were all on. Wojcinski dropped in to ask a couple questions.
Nice.
I feel like might have been one or two other people there that got in some questions, but I can kind of understand what Jules was saying. But to me, honestly, I was just like, oh, God damn you, Mike. Like, all you're doing is feeding the machine of, like, clickbait articles. Like, Mike literally should have just could have came in and said, are we going to take, Dave Noyer, or are we going to take Frondel? You're going to find out on Friday, aren't you, motherfucker?
Just dangling that carrot. Keep writing it and keep us in the loop.
Yeah, it was just like, stop feeding the clickbait, Mikey. But
he's like, huh?
Yeah, to be to be quite honest, it does seem kind of like we're going to take the best player available, which I think, if I was reading the tea leaves correctly, that was Grier saying, if for some reason the Islanders get bullied by their fans into taking Hagen's number one, then yeah, we're going to be looking at defense with the number 2 pick.
Absolutely.
But, or if for some reason they got talked into, like, that Day Noyer, whatever that kid. Oh, gee, I'm never going to get. If they,
That sounded like Carmen from South Park.
That's what I'm saying. Or Frondell or whoever, if they get talked into doing it, it seemed pretty obvious to me that Grier was just like, if Schaefer's there, we're taking him. If he isn't, we're going Misa. But let's see what happens. I'm excited because, like, literally every hockey writer on the planet and every podcast has done speculative breakdowns, or it's like, well, if the Sharks go Frondell, if they go or if they go this guy, blah blah blah, and it's just going to be really funny if it literally happens the way like 90% of the people expected, that it's like Schaefer 1, Misa 2, and then it's like, oh my god, all these articles and podcasts was the biggest waste of time. Oh god. Like, I just give me the post analysis, miss me with the mock shit. And it's been nice because I've seen some people on Reddit too. They're like, if I see one more fucking mock article, like rank prospects, absolutely. Like, there are data points you can get into, right?
Right.
But
sure,
a lot of people, I'm seeing it as well. They're just exhausted by the sheer amount of clickbait stuff, where it's just like this. I mean, like The Athletic, I think, had an article that said, this is our 4th and final mock draft. I'm like, oh my God.
It's like, what has changed between the freaking, combine to now?
Exactly.
I get it, but there are things where things change for teams. I don't know. On that note, here's our consensus prospect pick score as to who. Okay. But this one was kind of interesting to put here, but we'll get to that later on. Okay.
Well, either way, the overall comments from him are typical in that he said a lot and didn't say a lot. If you understand what I'm saying, like he talked a lot and didn't say a lot.
I get you.
If you understand, if you get my meaning. But either way, it's, he seemed to the thing that I was a little more interested in is that Shang asked him about free agents, and he asked about a couple specific ones. Like he mentioned Gregor's name. He mentioned what's the defenseman who's UFA?
Jan Ruda.
Yeah, he asked about Ruda. I remember Gregor. I remember Klim Shady. I know there was one or two other guys, and basically Grier goes, yeah, I got nothing for you on that. Next.
Yeah, he basically said he has nothing on anybody at the moment. But he also did say, I found this interesting. We have a lot of things to fix over here. And definitely
the fact that he recognized that and admitted it, I was just like, God damn, let's hear it for reality and the admission of. Yes.
And someone to challenge Askarov in net. I think that's a great one. Not just like, here you go, to Asky. Not that he doesn't deserve it. I think a tandem is beneficial right now in
but
net.
Who?
And that's the big question.
I mean, I think it was Merrick said something about like Gibson going to Anaheim. Or going from Anaheim to Edmonton. And I was like, I was just kind of like, well, it's certainly
few months
a
too
choice.
late.
Yeah, well, hello. If y'all remember, I was sitting all December saying, how the hell did the Oilers not come up with a better package than Colorado for Blackwood? I don't get it. And, would that have made the difference? We'll never know. But Vladar made 2.2.
Vladar, I believe so.
So I'm looking at that with a 898 save percentage, and I'm going, okay, this is going to be the guy you want to push. And granted, 27 years old, but how do you feel like about a Louis Domingue, who's trying to, 775K with a 926? Now, granted, he played one game. That's the problem at 33. But maybe you look for a guy who is clearly on the back nine that is trying to get traded to a contender at the deadline and then get out of Dodge, right? What about Matt Murray?
That's another one I think is going to be very interesting. I think Murray might be the one guy that might be a show me deal to try to get back in the league, regular playing time.
I mean, again, 31 years old, but only played 2 games last season.
Right.
So that, that you kind of go, huh, but is he going to be able to play his way back in? That's, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are looking at Vladar is, he played 30 games last year.
Yeah.
But, dare I say, big save Dave?
David Rittich?
Yeah. Would he push? We keep on hearing about Jake Allen. I just don't know that Jake Allen would want to come to this at 34 years old. I think the last place you want to go is to a rebuild,
unless he gets like a deal like Blackwood did, and then you get moved later on.
Yeah,
maybe if nothing's out there, maybe that
if he gets a pinky swear. James Reimer still available. Fuck that guy.
No.
Anyway,
have fun in Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. But like you said, a breath of fresh air from Mike Grier. I thought it was nice to hear from that. I was just kept rewatching the presser as I was on my way home. I'm like, yeah, okay. I appreciate the honesty and everything. But I get like why Sheng asked that, because I mean, hello, we haven't heard anything yet about anybody being re-signed, and we're about to get into silly season, as it usually is around this time. That's where it's like speculation mania here, but you also have 41 million in cap space. You have at least a little over 16 million to get to the floor. Now, do I want them to spend all of the cap case? No. But it'll see. I know Jules would love chaos at the draft. Maybe we get something. I don't know. We shall see.
Austin asking me, does this start with a guy named Mario Ferraro? I mean, who knows at this point? Is going into his last year. There's been a lot of talk about potentially moving him. The really funny thing, and actually I shouldn't say, like, it's not funny, haha. It's funny like a homeless clown, that for like 10 years, I think it was like, go run the numbers if I'm wrong, but I want to say like between 9 and 19, the Sharks made 70 draft picks, and the only one still in the system is Mario Ferraro. Now, granted, I'll be the first one to admit, like, okay, well, yes, but they took Timo Meyer and that got them back this guy, and they took Hurdle and that got them back Askarov, and they take, yes, there were some in there, and then of course Josh Norris, but 70 and only one from that time is still in the organization, and he leads trade talks for the Sharks. That's how Tim Burke still has a job. I've just like because that's just, man, that is an incredible amount of like, whoa.
Yeah. Ferraro selected 49th overall.
Yeah, but I'm saying, back then. But just the fact that over 10 years the Sharks made 70 picks, and he's the only one still with the Sharks. And Extra Shift podcast coming in hot.
Yep. $5 Australian super chat. So thank you. Good day over there. I'm guessing it's morning over in Australia. Hope you're doing well. I think we'll get some trades like Edmonton, Dallas, New York because of cap issues in their builds, but no real chaos. I think I mentioned it to you before. Kind of like the Doug Wilson unprotected first round. Did maybe GMs learn not to just give away a player from what happened with Jake Wallman?
I mean, God, you would think, but
Or not,
I mean,
just for at least another year.
I mean, yeah, I just don't understand how you give away something for nothing. But I don't know. Ask Vegas about Marc-Andre Fleury.
Ask Vegas about Tomas Hertl.
Yeah. God,
I mean,
I can't believe that. Like, I'm going to be blown away. How is this Hurdle's second year with Vegas?
yeah, he just finished his second year.
And wasn't the first one like he came in like with
April.
like I was going to say it was like right at the end. So it's basically, could you imagine he goes there 1 year and then is like gets moved? Man, if you're
Vegas, if
you're a free agent at this point, like I get it, like you want to win and everything like that, but if you're going to Vegas, how do you not have an NMC automatically built into your fucking deal? Like if they go big game hunting and look and try to go after Mitch Marner, that's got to be number one in his deal. And the other thing with Marner is I want to know, is he looking for the long haul, or is he like, nah, I'll come in here for like 2 years, see what you got, see where the window is, and then when that cap gets super open, now Marner gonna get paid.
Yeah, I get why. I know no tax state.
Grier did talk about that too today, by the way.
What did he say? I didn't catch that part.
He basically said that like every market has its attractiveness, whether it's the Bay Area with the weather, LA with access to, well, obviously massive city, but access to celebrity, and well, all the other stuff. But here, it's obviously access to Pebble Beach and the golf and Napa and Tahoe. Like there's a lot of things to do around this area, but basically every city has its draw, but the number one thing that draws players is winning.
Yeah.
And it's like, you look, Dallas has been, for the last 5 years, Dallas has been knocking on the door. You've got the Florida teams banging on the door. They were able to turn things around. Let's see if, Grier can continue on the path that he's on and, start making Northern California an attractive place to play despite the taxes.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is you got to make a selling point. It's almost like you got to come up with a PowerPoint and hype video about the area, right? I mean,
You'll
that's
see here on the map that, yeah. But there was somebody, I don't know if it was, I want to say it was somebody from TSN that mentioned, or maybe it was 32 Thoughts that said that they would be shocked if the tax issue wasn't brought up during the next CBA. It might not be addressed, but it seems to be this topic that won't go away.
Right. And again, I know Ian's mentioned it before. This wasn't an issue back in the day when Florida was getting reamed for, well, there's no fans here, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And he did bring up a good point. It's like, well, maybe the media narrative is because they can't say, well, Florida doesn't deserve a team because look what they're doing now. They got the great management. They have the fans coming back. Winning does amazing things, and you could throw that in for Carolina. I mean, how many times did we hear besides the Desert Dogs, Canes move the Panthers over to Quebec? I mean, it's, Shark Glass, you are bringing up a good point. That might be a helpful one. But guys that have stayed here will always talk up the area. That's who guys coming here. Uncle Joe and Uncle Patty have Mitch in their contact list.
You know who I'm dying to see? I think Vlasic. Honestly, I think he can't wait to get the hell out of the Bay Area. He's definitely an Eastern Canada guy. I think he wants to get back to Canada and get the hell out of here. Logan is the one I'm super interested in seeing, because it's like kids were born here, got married here. Does that mean anything, over the next 2 years while he's still in the Bay Area?
Yeah.
That's real interested to see if Logan sticks around. Because we've obviously seen guys, whether Ricci, Nabokov, like there's definitely been some guys that have stuck around. But I think Seto is still here, Hannon, Boyle, obviously. So there are some guys that have stuck around. But I think there's also a couple others that was just like, yeah, get me out of here. But I think that's again true of any market.
Yeah. And the Bay Area is a beautiful place. It's why we haven't left ourselves. Okay,
let's not go down that road.
Okay. Okay. Never mind. Moving on. Speaking of people who want to get the hell out of here, John Fisher. All right. Yes.
Oh my God. What a piece of shit.
Yeah. Let's settle in because we both have some things to say on this one. So A's and Quakes owner John Fisher, who according to their new team president, Mark Badane, has quote unquote taken a lot of unfair abuse and not in it for the money, decided last week that he was going to put up the San Jose Earthquakes up for sale. The estimated valuation of the team is $600 million. Obviously, that way he can do more than just put shovels in the ground on the Vegas Strip, which, well, it made San Jose Mayor Matt Hayan say something to the extent of, this is an exciting opportunity for the San Jose Earthquakes and the city. I look forward to welcoming the Quakes in new ownership and working with them to one day bring the team into the future sports and entertainment district we're planning in downtown West.
And Google
what?
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 Yeah. First off, let me just hit that first thing that you said, and we go on. Read it to me again. Something about being treated unfairly.
Yeah, he was. This came out from the groundbreaking yesterday in Vegas, that the new team president said that they have taken a lot of unfair abuse.
If you don't want that kind of abuse, you can always sell the team. Just
Thank you.
Saying, bud. If you don't care for that abuse, I don't know, get out. It's literally like just the fact that it's unfair abuse and blah blah blah, and it's like, you know what? You might want to call Jerry fucking Jones and talk to him. That guy's been getting raked over the coals for 30 years. You don't hear him crying. And the other thing that Jerry Jones was able to do over the last 30 years, build a new fucking stadium.
Yeah. and for those that are like not in it for the money, okay, then why didn't you spend on improving your team, let alone move them around every 3 years? Like, I was at that press conference when they showed off those brand new Kelly Green uniforms for their 50th anniversary, and Matt Chapman was awesome. Matt Olson was awesome. I was chatting with Dallas Braden, near the end before he jumped into broadcasting.
Talk to everybody.
But it was like an incredible group of it. And no, we're moving them in 3 years. Well, we're moving in 3 years. It wasn't until he had to have a pressure on to get his revenue sharing taken away that he actually did something. All right. Now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah. Fuck John Fisher. Anyway.
Anywho.
So he's selling the Quakes because he can't get anybody to buy into the Athletics.
Right.
Great job.
Okay. So
solid management.
getting back to Matt Mahan here and
Oh,
his wishful dreaming of
yeah, put that
a
up
quick
again.
of being in downtown West. Downtown West is a region in San Jose. That statement has nothing to do with Google. Tasha, Team Mahan.
Yeah, despite the fact that the sanjose.gov website under planning, building, and code enforcement, oh, look, it's right there,
You're welcome.
literally refers to it as downtown West mixed use plan Google project. But yeah, Google has nothing to do with, also Christ has nothing to do with Christians. Cows have nothing to do with hamburger. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Drugs have nothing to do with addiction. What are you talking about?
It's just
I don't. The other thing I want to know, throw up the map, please.
you got it. I'm bringing it up right now.
Let's talk about this for a second.
Where are you putting a soccer stadium here?
I mean,
For that matter, where the hell are the Sharks going to do where they've spent so much money on their own to continue to improve a SAP center that was open in 1993, but yet now you're thinking, oh, let's bring the Quakes downtown because their stadium is, excuse me, here, checks the notes, 10 years old.
again, I just sit there and go, oh, you want to bring, and it should also be noted that in the article, there was also something written to the effect of not only building something for the Quakes, but building something for the San Jose Giants. And of course, my big question is where? Where do you plan on putting these magical places? Number one. Yeah. And number two, where the fuck are people going to park?
Yes.
If you're going to put this in, the article said something about like, oh, well, the city has control of the lots adjacent to SAP Center. Well, I think there's a piece of information there that was omitted. I'm pretty sure the Sharks have some control over that stuff too. Like, if I remember correctly, when we spoke to Becker about the whole project a few years ago, if I remember correctly, he mentioned something to the effect of, they can take that parking, but it has to be replaced with something as good or better.
Right.
Where? How do you get better than literally 50 feet from the fucking door?
Right.
Yeah. Like, explain it to me.
I wish I could tell you, but I mean, what is there? I haven't looked at the plans, but across the street from where the players exit, isn't there a garage that's supposed to go there after everything that burned down on that corner?
Even if there is, it could be 10 fucking stories tall. It's not going, it will contain a fraction of the parking. And the fact that, let's be honest, the parking that you can access now is, you can get to it from two totally separate entrances, right? Mm-hmm. At a garage like that, it's basically going to be one in, one out. And they're trying to get out on residential. Are you kidding? It would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It would be a shit show. And the other thing is, like, I'm just trying to picture like a parking garage that's like half a block, but twice as tall as SAP. Because there's
wait a minute, we got to worry about the height restriction for the airlines.
Yeah, exactly. So it just like, I would bet money a garage is not what's being put there. It's going to be something else.
Yeah,
because it just makes no sense.
But I'm quite curious about this sports and entertainment
where
district, because I would love to know if Google's pulled back or whatnot.
Well, it says it in the in one of the articles. I think it's in the main one. It's like San Jose mayor hopes that the Quakes can blah, 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 blah. And it says some shit where my long-term vision for San Jose includes building out a sports and entertainment district to continue the momentum. Number one, the momentum of what? Nothing has been built. Google fucking tapped out during COVID. That threw a wrench into everything. So this,
Right.
I don't know what momentum he's referring to. But it wasn't immediately clear if San Jose officials have begun to envision a location for a soccer stadium. And again, the city owns the land in the western downtown district, the mayor's office noted, including the surface parking lots next to SAP Center. And immediately I'm going, the city owns the land in the western downtown district. Then what the hell did Google buy?
I think I'm guessing Google bought what was. So
What,
here's
air rights?
Well, I want to say Google. Hey, you know what? Let's look at that map again. I mean, so
aren't all those green buildings on pieces of property and the yellow ones on pieces of property that Google specifically bought in order to do this? Am I wrong?
I mean, that's how I looked at it. So,
Oh, hold on. I like California Cruisin's comment because I'm not sure if I understand it or not. That garage better be earthquake proof. Now, does that mean like you can't park there if you're a soccer fan, or like if it actually, if we have an earth? Never mind. But it also says here, according to Bob Stadler, principal executive of land use consultancy, Silicon Valley, the city and the redevelopment agency have studied putting a baseball park and a soccer stadium adjacent to SAP Center. Again, my friend, where?
yeah.
Where are you going to put it? Because even a ballpark, I don't know, is going to fit next to, I mean, unless like, are they talking about like where the A's park was going to be?
That's got to be the case.
So doesn't that mean that like,
That's like to the on this picture to the left of the Diridon station. That's where Cisco Field was supposed to be.
no, it's supposed to be underneath it, right? It was supposed to be where like the Poorhouse Bistro.
Yeah, to the left, to the west of that, and what was that bar that was across the street?
Patty's.
From Patty's. I think it was supposed to be around there because I think where the
That was
Channel
supposed to
11
be
studios
part of it.
at Park Avenue that's where it was supposed to go.
Yeah, so
Or
but
more
either
this
way, from what I understood, is that Google bought this land. So I don't understand what, again, like the left hand is not talking to the right. And again, I just love the idea of we want to have this whole entertainment district, sports and entertainment district. We're going to build a soccer stadium. We're going to build a baseball stadium. And now, granted, municipal, what's it called? Excite Ballpark, I think.
Right, and they just re-upped their lease over there, and they're going to make improvements over there. So who knows if the Giants are going to stay there for the long term?
And Grant, dude, I would love it because like getting to TechCU and Excite is not terribly difficult for me, but would it be more convenient if it was right next to SAP? Absolutely. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, though, I just love the fact that it's like, we want to build this whole complex for people to come to, but fuck parking cars. You don't drive, even though like our light rail system is horrible. And I hope.
And
you
how am
live
I supposed
next
to get down there from
Caltrain.
Concord?
Yeah, I hope you live next to Caltrain, or I hope you live next to BART when that comes here in 2060. Like, I mean, just anyway. I mean, I can get off the soapbox now, but it's just like I don't understand. I just don't understand. Mahon, like, he's been a pretty solid mayor for most of this shit. That whether that came from him or his team, somebody needs to have their fucking head examined and like needs a dose of reality as to what actually is happening in that area, because that makes no sense.
Yeah. And the ingress and egress out is something to improve on. It's not too bad, but it can be a nightmare if you add on residences and businesses around.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that you can't do it, but there's got to be improvements there. But my point is, for all of this, is that where's the love for the Sharks? I mean, seriously, they've been a good organization in San Jose. Obviously, they've
Completely
Sharks
revitalized downtown.
Yeah, I mean, the Sharks Ice is busy as F. That it had to expand twice. Plus, bring the CUDA here and make an arena for themselves. Not the least of which have been paid tens of millions of dollars of their own money to a city-owned building to make improvements to what will soon be the second oldest building in the NHL that hasn't gone through a major renovation. Now, granted, improvements in the team, and kudos to Hasso and Becker on that. They've done a great job that you don't need a massive renovation. But unlike other teams in other states where they're begging for public funds, or they're they threaten to move to Vegas or Nashville or Orlando, they flip the bill. So my point is like, where's the appreciation and support for San Jose and the Sharks? Me,
well, hold on. But what are you complaining about? That they might get their parking taken away?
Well, one, they're getting the parking takeaway. Two, however long the next lease is, by then I would have to think you're thinking about a new arena in probably another 25 years. I mean, where are you going to stick them? Especially if you're building this downtown sports and entertainment hub in the future. Where is the team going to go after that?
Yeah, this whole, obviously COVID fucked up a lot of shit, but my thing is, why was a new arena not part of the original Google plan before COVID fucked everything up? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah.
Like, granted, SAP is aging like wine. I got no problems with it.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to say, that there are times when that building is sold out because they got, you don't have the smoking sections anymore. You don't have certain areas that for people to escape to. When those games are sold out, it is a bitch to navigate through there. Yeah. So, like, even if it is 20 years from now, there will have to be a new venue. I just don't know where they're thinking it's going to go, especially if you build all this stuff around the tank. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? Implode the tank and then like have the team play in Oakland for 2 years while they build a new one?
Screw it. Brody was talking about it on when he went back to the Cal Palace. Let's just go back there for a couple of years.
You know what, though? To be fair, I do think it would be kind of cool if the Sharks, like, I don't know, like once every 3 years or something like that, played one preseason game there.
Dude,
that would be so cool, because none of the main players are going to have to do it. It's going to be fucking prospects and shit. Let them go. If you guys suck, this is where you're going to end up. Like,
But I'm right with you on that. I think they should have like 1 year. They should play an exhibition at the Cal Palace. You get the Peninsula loving that. Hell, go to Oakland. Oakland, I think, might be more ready for the ice than anything. I'm sure they still have the boards there, and freaking, you can play in Oakland for a bit there. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be beneficial to everyone if they were to grow the game that way, and you make out like looking like a hero by going back to a place. If you're gonna, tear down and rebuild.
Well, and who's to say 20 years from now, all this shit gets built around SAP Center. There's nowhere to put a new arena. Maybe the Sharks leave in 20 years and all of a sudden they're in Oakland.
As a guy who lives in the East Bay, I
know you don't hate that idea. But when it comes to like this whole entertainment district, I've always sat there and wondered, why the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds are allowed to just sit there and do nothing. You know,
All I'm going to say is the Alameda County Fairgrounds in Pleasanton is wonderful this time of the year. Not paying $20 for a corn dog, that's for damn sure. All right, let's
Get
move
pretty
on.
fucking hot though.
Oh, they're so awesome. Chris saying, just tear down one of the million Safeways. Puck, I could get behind that. You're not wrong, but at the rate they're going to have digital tags soon and start doing dynamic pricing at the grocery stores. But I digress. Let's go on to something a little more, I guess, more fun.
Hold on, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Who the hell is Bailey?
Okay, so we'll tackle that. So the draft show is Friday, 3:30, right here on our YouTube channel. If you're going to the draft party, it'll open up at 3:00. Bailey is a local. I think she's actually from San Jose, a WWE superstar. At one time, I think she's been the women's world champion of it. And I guess they're doing celebrity picks. They loved it so much when Celine Dion did the pick for Montreal. So you don't hear Gary talk about the San Jose Sharks pick.
I'm sorry. I always get a laugh when somebody says WWE champion, as if they actually worked for that.
I'm just going with the script, all right?
Exactly.
By the
Go
way,
ahead.
Jackie Redmond, good to see you if you're watching.
Mm.
So I guess they're going to have a bunch of celebrity people doing the picks for them. Bailey is going to be the one from
I was going
San
to say,
Jose.
Bailey's the best the Sharks can do. Okay.
Well, it's either that or Neil Young.
Oh,
Draymond Green? No, I mean that's one thing that needs to. Christy Yamaguchi. So
James Hetfield,
I wouldn't mind that,
right?
But
I think that would be pretty boss. But either way, as long as it's not Lars. But that's
oh, geez.
yeah, okay.
So
either way, I hope this whole centralized or decentralized draft goes the way of the birds, and this is like a one-time thing. This is horrible, but all right, whatever.
Yeah,
Good
but I
for
know,
her.
I know, and there's a lot of people defending you. Bay Area wrestling legend. I get that. Paul Medina, she is from San Jose. Bailey, got to do the Bailey chance. You wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure Hockey Jerk, if he was at the draft party or at the draft, he'd be doing that.
All right.
So
okay, it's all good. Fine.
Hi, Brett. Nice, Lars Vern.
Do you?
Oh,
well, no, because
so-
if we're, I want somebody who actually is a good drummer to make the pick. But
Oh,
no.
damn. All right.
Yeah,
So,
whatever. It's but I did like the fact that on the video she said something like, I'm going to be making both picks, and I was like, so I guess she just leaked that Grier ain't trading. We're not trading out for 30 and 33 or anything like that. So anyway.
Anyhow, so be on the lookout for that. 3:30 on Friday is when we'll get things started, and it should be a lot of fun. We have one of our biggest shows of the year, so please stay tuned to that. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to know when we do go on the air for that. Now, let's get to some of the aesthetics of the sport. Apparently, the team, if you played in the 2019 Stanley Cup Final, you're like, I feel like we need to go back to something back. So the Boston Bruins unveiled, or kind of threw back, but they also kind of modernized their Spoked B again. If you're looking on your screen, the one on your right, those two logos are what they're going with. Simplified version of what was worn from 07 to 2025. They kind of used this during their centennial season. It was more of that sparkly gold. This will be that regular yellow that the Bruins would wear.
Oh my
what do you
God,
think?
I am 50 shades of not giving a fuck. Like, honestly, to me, I looked at the logo and I'm like, I don't see anything different. It all looks the fucking same.
Yeah, and the jerseys supposedly that are going to be unveiled tomorrow or on
The ones
Wednesday.
that leaked like 3 months ago. Those
Right, they
ones?
were leaked by CBC, and that caught fire by Chris Creamer and sportslogos.net, or Chris at Aesthetics. They're going back to the jerseys they were from their late 70s to the mid 90s, before they left the original Boston Garden. So we'll see about that. The one that came out today, the St. Louis Blues. I'm like, okay, you modernized, you updated your Blue Note. I get that. I really like their alternate logos here. That STL and that fleur de lis. I mean, those are
The floor with the music staff, very creative. Dig that. No, the alternate logos, I was like, very well done. But the actual Blue Note, again, I sit there and I go, it's fine. What's the difference? It's like,
and that's why I put the difference on here, because there was a darker blue. It's not really a powder blue. It's just kind of like a bright royal blue that they have going on here.
but it's like they highlighted the lines and hit bold on the keyboard. You know what I mean?
True. That's very true. So for here, that's their away jersey. I think that looks really sharp with that shoulder cap.
And from what I understand, the old dark blue jerseys are going to remain their third.
Yes, they'll
So-
remain their third, so they can probably get through all their
But
merch and then
this
get
is
rid of it.
basically like a classic jersey, except they changed from cream to white.
Yeah. The one thing that I absolutely hate, and this goes with the blue jersey, it needs a white outline on that Blue Note, and the numbers on both jerseys, they've always had that double outline through their existence of their history. To go to that plain single lettering and numbering, I'm sorry, that is a huge down.
Not only that, I'm sorry, and I don't know who started this. If it was the Sharks or who, this jersey pants have to, or jersey and socks have to have a matching bucket and pants and gloves. I hate it. I hate too much of something is not good. I'm dying for the Sharks to go back to black pants, black lids. It's the top to bottom teal, the top to bottom of any color. It's it's like with football when they used to do those color rush Thursdays. It's too much. And at least on the NFL, you only had to deal with your team wearing that once, maybe twice on a Thursday. The fact that we have to deal with this for every home game, yikes.
And back in November, I did put up a little vote as to at least having a game or two during a long homestand, or you can put the black helmet and breezers on. I mean, at least for that, I think would have been cool. You can switch it up.
You got to have some contrast, and then it really makes the jersey and the socks pop. When it's, top to bottom, all the same color, it reminds me of that old saying, when everybody's special, no one is. And it's like when everything's teal, it's too much.
Yeah. Extra shift.
In California cruising, not wrong. The ducks look like traffic cones. They look, they're probably the worst ones in the league. And what's fucked up is the Anaheim Ducks, to me, for the longest time, had the second best jersey in the league behind the Sharks. Loved the jade and eggplant. In the original, the fact that they went full fucking Philadelphia, and that's what I was laughing when I saw the Zegras trade. I was like, motherfucker's still in orange,
right? Thank you, California Cruising. Extra shift. Thank you for your super chat. The St. Louis jerseys look like someone on NHL Creative Team didn't know how to put a border around the numbers. And they're selling lock. No, they do. Absolutely. Because the jersey designs aren't new. This is basically their third jersey. Now it's in white instead of cream with less outlines in it. I mean, there's that. The white jersey is solid to me, but I'm getting the the double outline numbers on that jersey if I were to get that. It
Man,
just
I'd love to know what our buddies over at Let's Go Blues think.
right. I think they're thinking a nice improvement and everything. And I'm sorry, you have killer alternate logos and none of them are on the jersey.
Oh, not even on like the shoulders or anything?
No, it's on the pants.
Well, and aren't they it's also on the lid too, right?
No, there'll be a sponsorship patch. There'll be a sponsorship logo on the lid and
right.
on the jersey because, that's how we do it in the NHL because our jerseys are sacred.
But to be fair, remember when the Sharks updated their secondary logo from the circle fin to the diamond, and it got used on almost nothing?
And that's a beautiful logo.
Yeah, but to me, that was like replacing a Ferrari with like
for sure.
like a Mustang. Like it's
sure.
nice. It's not the fucking same as the original.
No, of course not.
know.
But I mean that's why they went to a different variation of that on the current sweaters.
Yeah.
So
Which again, I'm still kind of.
So who do you think is next? Who
To
needs a new look next?
Oh, who gives a shit? You know who needs Detroit? Just do something
Different, please.
Yeah, just something like I know you just hold on to but good God, man, your reverse retros were horrible. Like the one time you got something right for a stadium series and you don't even use it as a third jersey.
Oh,
Like with the white sash with the old school D on the front, it's gorgeous.
That modernized D was incredible.
Yeah, so it's
and,
just like, what are you guys doing over there?
And those helmets that they wore at this year's Stadium Series against the Blue Jackets, those were sweet. With the wing on the side, I mean, that is really sweet. I'm sure you can't do that because, we got to put this helmet brought to you by Medger. It's like, okay, or brought to you by Kroger.
I don't know. I to me, it's Detroit, but they've needed a rebrand for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Like I understand they want to hold on to the 06 thing and blah blah blah, but which I'm so sick of. I'm just
Meanwhile, what the Bruins just changed their logo.
Yeah.
Toronto just did it about 10 years ago. I mean,
maybe
come
Montreal.
Boy, that's a tough one to do.
Well, if they're going to say the same thing about Detroit, like I respect the history, but if we're going to do some rebranding or something like that, because to me, this Boston and St. Louis thing, these aren't rebrands. These are, I would say, a refresh.
A refresh of their old uniforms. I mean, it's literally that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the logo is, the logos are still basically the same.
Yeah.
To me, the change that the Sharks made in their logo in 07, worlds apart.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because they weren't like reverting to something. It was a decent modernized update, but
or maybe LA because it's been 5 minutes since they've changed.
I'm still waiting for their third jersey to just have a crown on it. It's a matter of time, and it better be purple.
Actually, who needs a fucking refresh? Nashville.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a plain jersey. That logo is sharp, but bring back the detail that they had in their old jersey.
Oh, they got so fucked by the transition to Adidas. Oh, did they get so hosed?
Even then, I mean, it was just a horrible design. I mean, that first reverse retro where it was the yellow version of their original jerseys, that looked killer. But
Nashville is in desperate need. They need to go the way of Anaheim, where they just say, okay, we're just going to throw out everything and start over.
Yeah, indeed. Chris saying, just get Red Wings shoes to sponsor the Red Wings, problem solved. Right? There you go. Nothing to do that about that. So, finally, I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier, but Hurdle getting traded. Oh, damn.
It just goes to prove, man, Vegas don't care.
and yet everybody just keeps wanting to go there.
Because I mean, strippers. No, I'm kidding.
Heyo.
I mean, but if you enjoy a night out, it's a good place to be. I'm just, to be honest, I'm surprised that like any married guys go there. They go to the Golden Knights, but look, they're always in it. You got to respect that. Hold on, I almost threw
You
up in
good?
my mouth a little bit. Yeah. Having to say something positive about Vegas is very, but they're always in it for now. Again, I can't wait till that bill comes due. Last I looked, don't have a pick in the first round. Oh, who had that pick?
Well, we did, and then we changed to national.
Exactly.
No, I know.
So, that bill will come due, and we'll see what happens. But the fact that Hurdle could be there for just a year, and then chatter is Carolina, possibly New Jersey, and either way, it's like, oh, do I want to go hang out with Timo? Do I want to go hang out with Bernsey? That is if Bernsey's
still there.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, and I love the fact that EK65 and EK9 are like at the total top of all these trade lists because Pittsburgh wants to get out from underneath that behemoth of a deal, which again, Mike Grier, like how he didn't get GM of the year just for making that deal alone. I don't understand. And then, and then EK9, like again, has spoiled, worn out his welcome. It's just, man, it's incredible. But Ash asking, did Hurdle get the boot from Vegas? No, but there's a lot of discussion. And you know what the really fun part is that in 7 days or less, we'll know.
Right. And then all of a sudden now, if you go searching for Alex Pietrangelo, it's like Pietrangelo's status will have a big impact on Vegas's offseason. So we already know Alex Pietrangelo has now replaced Mark Stone as a guy that's, my arm, my leg.
See, and it's funny you bring that up because that definitely seems to be some stuff I saw from 32 Thoughts.
Yeah.
There was the state tax thing that's going to be something that will be discussed from the CBA. But the other one that I thought was kind of cool was a discussion about teams being able to carry a permanent personal e-bug. I was just like, all right, I kind of dig that. Like, I wonder who wouldn't it be funny if ours was Nabby? But
dude, come on now. You know who it's going to be?
Grosnick?
No.
Stalock?
No. Aaron Dell.
Oh, no, I like Stalock.
I like Stalock too.
Because Stalock
can have a mic with him to broadcast.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to be on the broadcast anyway. But that and what was the thing you were just mentioning?
What, Alex Pietrangelo?
LTIR. That's the other thing that is going to be discussed. And, these are some things that I also plan to speak with Dan Boyle about on Friday. Because I want to get a player's take.
I thought we weren't going to tell anybody yet, but okay.
About what?
Who we have on Friday.
I didn't say I was going to do it on air.
Oh, whatever. We do have a breaking tweet from Curtis Pashelka.
Hey now.
Clean Costin is rumored to be joining Avangard Omsk.
Fuck.
So Clean
I love
gone.
Me some Clean. Yeah, I love me some Clean. But what does that mean? That's a space for somebody like a Beasted or a Musty or a Chernyshov or whoever to try to get, this upcoming season.
So isn't there a rule that you can't reacquire a player that you have as one of your retention slots?
I have no idea.
Chat.
What do you want, a hurdle back? What are you talking about?
I'm just thinking, who needs to get to the cap floor? Who likes it? Who kind of likes it here? I mean, how many? I think I saw his wife up here many times, even
Say
when
it,
the
baby.
when the Vegas Golden Knights weren't in town. Just
You
putting that
talking
out
about?
there.
Are you talking about Anna?
Yeah, I'm talking
Oh,
about Annette. She was up here a few times. She was up here for the Joe Thornton retirement with her kids. I know obviously Tomasz couldn't be up here for it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you put Hurdle on waivers and Mike Grier did a
No,
solid.
nah.
We're gonna do Barclay Goodrow all over again.
31 years old, dude. He's cup chasing.
Oh,
He's
for
cup
sure.
Yeah. So no, he ain't good.
But if he refuses, and I think it turns, what is it, returned into like a 3-team no trade on July 1st, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
don't know, man. This next week's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, this is why we love speculation season between now and,
fuck
and
you.
Tuesday.
I hate the speculation part of it. I just like it.
Well,
I like watching it as it happens.
right, that's my thing. Is that not like, oh my God, is Anton Ferndale going to be number 2? Like, no, not that.
up.
I'm just saying. But all the trickle down moves, like we saw last year we saw Jake Wallman and then get a pick from Detroit. We flipped the pick along with another pick to move up in the draft to get Sam Dickinson. The little stuff like that, I think, is very fascinating. But it's also fascinating to see if teams like Jason Robertson, like, dude, this guy was a freaking beast for you, and he's on the market.
Well,
You're putting too much Hurdle in the market. Like, come on, guys.
Well, and who was as Ash points out, Sharks have 42 million in space. There was some discussion, not saying it's going to happen, because Grier did kind of intimate during his call today that the time for taking on bad deals to get sweeteners and whatnot is kind of over. It's
Right.
time to start building. That being said, if Montreal were to want the Sharks, ask around and say, hey, how do you feel about having Carey Price's contract? And we'll give you this, and that. You still have to get to that floor. Again, this it's hyperbole because it always is. And we've said it before. I think we said it last year. We probably said it the year before that. And it's just like anytime a band puts out a new album, we think this is the best album we've ever made. And it's like, no, that was 5 albums ago. But, nice promotion. But we'll use, to paraphrase that idea, this could be the most important offseason for the Sharks. Can I be more hyperbolic? Because it's like, the rebuild is over. Mike Grier has said as much.
Yeah.
So
it's time to build.
Yeah. Let's see where all these pieces are going to go. But the thing that I am most people sit there and speculate Frondel, Misa, or whoever. And I swear to God, I really wish, how great would it be if they cartooned it with making the pick, since it's going to be in LA, cartoon it that Cartman sidles out there for whatever team is taking. He's like, we'll take Caleb. I would love that. That would be outstanding. But either way, no matter who gets chosen by the Sharks, for me, the only thing I'm laser focused on is rebuilding this blue line. And this was brought up by Wyszynski, but I was ready to ask it a couple of weeks ago. Go look at Puckpedia. There's not a single Shark signed on the blue line beyond next year. Not a single one.
Yeah.
So, what the hell are we doing here, guys? Are we going to limp along for one more year? Because to me, it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought the time is now to build.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Taking step by step.
There's not a single piece in place on that blue line. Stop. They need to find that top 4 group. Henry Thrun, to me, 5'6" guy. Jan Ruda, 3-4. But where is our 1-2 punch? It is not on the roster currently.
Yeah. And I think everybody's tired of losing. And Chris making a great point here. I want an Islander season knocking on the door of the playoffs, then winning the draft lottery. You want
Wouldn't
to be
that
you
be
want to be
nice?
when you would want to be in playoff contention like before the trade deadline. I think is ideal, or before right around the trade deadline going. Would be crazy. But yeah,
Well, Ash asking a question. No.
Ash
No.
asking, would Chicago be stupid enough to take the second overall
No.
for third overall in Rinzel?
No.
No. And honestly, that probably would happen after the Islanders make their first pick. I can't see the Sharks trading number 2 if they were to trade number 2. And Grier even far as went said he's had some offers, but at the moment he's not moving number 2.
Well, and again, I just don't know why you would, because if we're brutally honest, Misa is, is basically the consensus forward at the top of the group. But from what I understand, a lot of people have pointed at this draft saying it could be one of the lowest quality drafts over the last 15 years. Like what, that once we judge it 15 years from now, see how many guys out of the first round actually make it, how many become all-stars, you know what I mean, and have an impact. It's, not every draft can be, what was the one that it was, oh God, who was the captain of the Ducks?
Getzlaff?
Yeah. Wasn't there was it his draft that I'm thinking of where it's like 9 of the 10 guys taken in that draft were like all stars or some shit. Or maybe I'm off by a year, but either way, they're saying that like this is going to be the opposite of that. Like you might get 2 all-star. Oh, okay. Medina's saying 2003.
Thank you. Well, and then there's the Sharks picks with McCulloch and Bernier.
Yeah, not that great. And Dan Moore saying like right up there with the 22 draft is what I've heard. So, yeah, COVID draft was really weak. So yeah, it's gonna.
COVID. You feel for the kids who came out of there because it was so tough, 20 and 21 to get noticed and to really pick it out. So
and this is going to be something fun to talk about, for the next 10 years.
Yep.
Because at one point there are a lot of people super excited about Ryan Merkley
and Josh Norris
and Nikolai Goldobin,
Sasha Shemilovsky.
What? No. To be fair, Josh Norris is still doing well. He's just not doing it for San Jose.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah. Tim Stutzla. Anyway, you
didn't say it right.
Stutzla.
Thank you.
This will be fun to judge in about 7 to 8 years. But it's like whether they take Frondell or Misa, or if they're lucky enough to get Schaefer. If they're lucky enough to get Schaefer, who knows? And could you imagine what would it take for where the Islanders are number 1? Do they have anything else? Any other capital?
Oh, like for draft wise?
Like my point being is what could they give now imagine this is me. And again, I hate this kind of speculative what if bullshit, but this to me is so stupid. And whoever writes the article on this, you better fucking credit me for this. What if the Islanders had something that they could give the Sharks to say, we want second overall so we can take Schaefer and then take Higgins or vice versa. Like if they would like just to have the whole Belmont slobbering over them. Like
I don't think they have an additional first. Let me I'm trying to poke up Tankathon right now because it would have to be.
But do they have do they have a current player on their roster that would be worth a second round or second overall?
I know there's a lot of people talking about Noah Dobson. They've been saying that for years. And yeah, the Islanders don't have a first round pick. besides number one.
But I'm
So-
not. But see, that's my point, though. Mike Grier is not going to trade second overall for future picks. It's going to be for somebody who is on the roster now who can fit into this build. So it's going to be somebody who is, like 23 or younger, who has a very high ceiling. Is there somebody on that list?
I mean, there is Cole Iserman, who plays for a certain college in a certain region that Mike Grier likes, that hasn't gotten any NHL playing time yet. But dude, I don't know.
Net front presence is saying Misa's way better than Dobson, and whether you can go back and forth on that, that's fine. But the problem is Misa doesn't play on the blue line.
Yeah, and this team needs to get blue line help badly.
Dan Moore saying one single player, no. Dobson is not worth trading this. And that's my point. Like, the discussion would start with Dobson. And if that's a non-factor, like for me, if you're trading second overall because they want Higgins that badly, like you're asking for Dobson and Boquist.
If not more.
Yeah. But you're basically asking for, yes, we want these two right shot defensemen.
Right.
And that's where we're going to start. And we'll take your, first round pick next year.
Unprotected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, you can have Ferraro for nothing. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm telling, and I haven't even had a drink today, and I came up with that.
Good for you.
Right?
Jules is saying maybe it has to be a three-way deal that you kind of flip it around to get that. So,
yeah.
But hey,
stranger things have occurred, but we'll see what happens.
Welcome back to speculation season.
Let me ask you this, because I forgot about this. First go with Mike Grier, traded down, picked up a couple, and like the first player we took was Beestead.
Correct.
Who was the player that was taking with the pick they traded down for?
Oh, that was the 2022 draft.
So, but did that pick end up being a solid person? Because if it is, Beestead, you are on the clock, my man.
All right, please hold.
And was Cagnoni also taken in that too? Oh, Geeky. Jules says Geeky.
It was Geeky that was.
That's who ended up getting taken.
Yeah, Connor Geeky. Yeah, because it went 11.
And who did the Sharks end up getting?
Phil Beestead.
Beestead, but who else? Because they traded down they got extra picks, right?
They got
literally why they moved down. Oh, Cagnoni was 23. Never mind.
The first round pick went to the Desert Dogs. That sent Carolina's first pick. That's the 27th pick that the Sharks got. A second round pick in 2022, so the 34th overall pick, and the 45th pick, so 34 and 45. 34, they took Cam Lund.
Oh, so it was Beestead, Lund, and Haviland.
Yep.
Okay. So one of you guys better get your shit together. That's what I'm saying. Get your shit together, because if Geeky out here doing shit, you better be at least up there with us. Beestead, come on, buddy. There's a couple guys from, I want to say,
Uh-oh. He wanted to say something, but then all of a sudden he disappeared. Uh-oh. Well, that's a little awkward ending for him. Oh, no. I'll go through some of the comments in the chat while I see if AJ tries to reconnect. He might have lost power, because I know it's been warm over there in his part of San Jose. Let's see. You have fun. Also, that was wasn't Grier's draft. He came in 3 days prior. Yeah, that's true. AJ Rage quit. No. He's coming. All right. AJ's coming back. Don't worry, folks. He'll be here. I'll look at some of these comments in the chat because I know he'll have things to say in here. I'm looking at some of the. Are we going to draft party? Yes, we will be at the draft party. Our live coverage will be somewhere, we think, on the concourse Friday, beginning at 3:30. We'll be around. We'll be taking turns and such. So don't worry. We'll you can say hi to us in some form, and we're gonna have some stuff to give out. We'll take it into the Teal Town Prize Closet for sure. So look for us. Come and say hi. We don't bite. AJ might, but that doesn't matter. Extra shift, also unrelated. The St. Louis jerseys look like how they do outlines, and I saw that one earlier. Sorry about that. And then. And Mark Pearson, not far from me up here in Canada, but my schedule didn't work out. Really wanted to meet AJ or meet Eric and Jules in person. Hey, don't worry. You never know. I might think about going to Toronto for the Hall of Fame weekend. We'll see. No promises on that. So AJ's joined us back.
I raged quit. Yeah. That's one of the, I need a new fucking laptop is what it is.
You and me both, my friend. You just got that, what, a couple years ago, though?
2019, dude. Yeah,
really?
bro.
It's been that long?
Yeah, man. Got it.
Wow.
Got it just before, 2020. You got it like just right around the beginning of COVID. So.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
What was I screaming about before I got so rudely taken off?
The draft picks, how they need to.
Oh yeah, they need to perform. But the 2022. There's, man, there's some guys that some of these need to pan out. But that was Grier's first go, right? But that was also like he had been with the Sharks for a week,
right? Not even that, just a few days. So that was.
So it's hard to still judge that, but. Some of these guys need to should have get off the pot. Like I'm going to be real interested to see how if we see a buyout sheet. Who the Sharks.
I can't see it.
I was going to say. Well, I didn't necessarily mean for the Sharks. Like if somebody, let's see who does get bought out. But I want to. Huh?
And so far, only TJ Brody has been a buyout.
Yeah,
in the NHL, which is crazy.
I'm surprised we've only seen one, but whatevs. But I want to see. Let's see if anybody gets offer sheeted. That's always fun.
A lot of cap space out there.
But I want to see how the Sharks treat their RFAs. As it's fucking Thomas Bordelot. Start learning Chinese, motherfucker.
Hey, welcome to Callin Red Star, like all the other former Sharks.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chris Collins.
You better see if you can get a buy one get one free voucher with Clean Costin, buddy.
Oh, jeez. RFA wise, we have Noah Gregor, Clean Costin, which apparently is gone.
Okay, but hold on, one by one. Noah Gregor, no fucking way.
Clean Costin,
already gone.
Yeah. Nikolai Kovalenko. I mean, that kind of seems like it's.
I mean, if he'll play for the minimum, and like if he'll be like, okay, yeah, let me prove it, and I'll get traded. I'll get good enough to get traded and get you something back. Like I'd take a flyer on him for that.
Thomas Bordelot.
I hate to say it, but dude, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like we're going to give you a 1 year do something, or if they just say nope, you tried.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, and I don't think it's going to end in a good way. Jack Thompson is a restricted free agent, part of the Anthony Duclair trade.
That guy, they better sign.
Yeah, I do like him. Georgi Romanov, I mean, came in and...
Oh, goodbye. I mean...
You don't think he goes back to the CUDA?
I mean, if that's the option, then sure.
Yeah.
But, I looked at it as, you saw Blackwood and VTech, come in, revitalize themselves. But obviously Blackwood far more, but either way, good enough to get moved. And then the road could not have been more clear for Romanov to, jump. And he never did. So...
Yeah. Other RFAs that the Sharks own rights to or have played, Alexander Shemilevsky.
Yeah, bring him back. Fuck it, why not? Well, if they do have the rights to him, can they bring him like to camp?
Well, if they have to sign him now.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah. Martin Kaut.
I just read something like he's been in Europe for like since.
Yeah. Daniil Gushchin.
That's another guy. He's up there for me with like Bordelot, where I'm kind of like, boy, I don't know that he's going to be here next year.
Yeah, Brandon Coe, Mitchell Russell, Nolan Burke, Carl Berglund are also the RFAs in here. So be quite interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, and it's and the roster's about to get a lot fuller by Friday.
Yep, absolutely.
And so if you've got guys like Musty or Beasted or whoever that are coming in, on fire, not to mention Chernyshov, there's going to be a lot of competition. Some of these guys need to step up, and unfortunately, I think Bordelot has just been passed. He's been like lapped on the depth chart.
Well, yeah. Oh,
and injuries have not been his friend.
No, and that's the tough one too. So, all right, I think that shall wrap things up on this edition. And in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Audio version will be up a little bit later this evening. But of course, come to our YouTube channel, hit that like. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, let you know when we go on, like our draft show starting at 3:30 Pacific on Friday. AJ, how many likes do we have at the moment?
I have no idea. I was too busy thinking about
Start. Oh man, 19 likes. Come on now, come on. Let's get to 30 right now. So, Mr. Strong, good to see you, my friend. We'll see you Friday. Your final thoughts on this evening?
We will have some stuff to give away on Friday if you're coming to the draft party, so find us. For the rest of this stuff, I mean, I think I said more than enough. But
You never.
Yeah. So I mean, congrats, Jumbo, and Holy Doodle. Looking forward to the shirt and the coffee mug and the pucks and all of that. For everything else, there's a part of me that it used to be that I didn't like this time of year because it's like it's over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the cup is done. I don't watch basketball, but I like listening to my friends gab about it sometimes. And we're still far too far out from football. And yes, this is usually the time where I go, oh, thank God I can just mellow, listen to Flem and Hunter and just watch Little Giants ball and just be relaxed. And now it's like, oh my God, can we just I can't wait to get to like the 4th of July so this can all be over and I can have a mellow couple of months before everything winds up again.
Yeah, and then we get into off-season mode, and then
Yeah,
a few weeks after the prospect scrimmage, the Niners report, or if you're like me and fellow Saskatchewan Drew Remenda, I mean, the Rough Riders are playing and they're off to a 3-0 start and had a walk-off touchdown in their last game.
I've got some shows to go to, and at least I'll be doing that over the summer. But good Lord, I want to get to the 4th of July so fast.
Oh, I am.
Get it all behind us. I don't know. You are unavailable for the prospect scrimmage?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't get out of work.
I'm not sure if I am. I'm going to try. It might be that Jules is like our one lone representative for the day.
Oh,
we'll
God,
find out what happens.
Ian, you need to fly out sooner, bud.
Yeah, no shit, right?
He's at AJ_Strong on the Twitter machine. I'm at Puckguy14. We will be back with you, barring a crazy trade or something, Friday, 3:30 for our round 1 draft coverage. There will be a recap on Sunday night, so there will be no Summer Shark Bites on Sunday. It will be our draft recap show and primer for the free agency. And it should be probably more interesting free agency shows that we've done. So
Are we going to get a Mark on there on day 2?
Yes. So Friday we'll do it. Friday we'll have our live coverage. The recap show they're pushing to Sunday so they can kind of research a little bit more on those 7th round picks. So
cool.
I don't know. Jules keeps hinting at me that she wants to, go live coverage for rounds 2 and 3. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes out
So
there.
that is going to be all on you guys. I'm only contracted to be here on Friday.
Ian's saying 3:45
For what?
to start the draft coverage.
3, 4, we're not starting at 3:30.
He's saying not dancing for 30 minutes.
Oh, but to be fair,
Oh no.
I have to check our schedule. We may have a guest between 3:30 and 4.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I have to check the schedule.
Oh boy. All right. All right. With that, we will get out of here. Until then, thank you for watching. Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you Friday for round 1 draft coverage. You know you're going to love it.
And
Good night.
yang yang yang.